All right, let's get to what the heck are we doing here? Why would anybody waste their time coming to this stream? Because let me show you. I showed this a long time ago, but we've never actually played it on the stream or anything. I heard about this online. I saw some reviews, and then I discovered that they are essentially unobtainium. You can't find them, not for retail price anyway. This is a Retroid 3+. Let's take a look at it. Boy, there's like a little weird lag every now and then with the camera. You see that? Also, hey, there's McRib in the reflection. McRib is hiding there in the back of the room. What's up, McRib? You can order this in any of 100 million zillion colors, and I am a fan of the American Super Nintendo colors, and so that's what I got. I got the gray or purple and purple buttons. You can see you've got 2 analog sticks. You've got a D-pad. On the bottom of this, you have a headphone jack. You have a USB-C. You have a SD card slot. You have all the buttons that you really want for any kind of emulator on this. So this runs Linux. And you got your shoulder buttons, R1 and R2 on each side. You got buttons and you got triggers. You have a power button. You got start and select up here. You got a home button. You got a volume rocker on the side, a couple of rocker. But there's one other button or one other thing that I had never tried before today. This is the very first time that I ever tried it. It was about 2 hours ago. And if you look, that is a mini HDMI out cable. Now, one of the problems, like I said, this is there's plenty of opportunity. Don't worry if nothing goes wrong right off the bat. There's a lot of opportunity tonight for things to go wrong. We're kind of winging a thing that could go wrong lots of ways. So I should have maybe even like a bingo card of ways that things could go wrong, and then that would be fun. So let's go over to this, and then we're going to plug in our HDMI cable, and let's see, just like the old iPhone connectors and old USB connectors. It's wrong one way, and then when you flip it over, it's wrong that way. And then when you flip it around, it's wrong that way too. No matter which way you do it, it's wrong. Oh, we got something here. Okay, let's hit the power. And here we go. I've turned it on 4 times today, and every time it says... hey, there's another update. So apparently there have been a lot of updates. Now, what happens? I'm going through a lot of stuff here all at once. Normally this would be a really cool screen, and I would see what you're seeing on the screen. But when the HDMI output is on, the screen on the Retroid goes off. So that's a problem because the Retroid is a really, really nice touchscreen. The rumor is that these are new old stock iPhone 6 screens. Is that true? I don't know. How would I know? I called Apple. Apple had no comment. But they look really nice and they feel really nice. They are, the screen is the best screen I've had on any portable gaming thing. I will tell you 2 things. Number one, in a couple hours after the stream ends tonight, the new You Don't Know Flack will come out. It comes out tonight. And it's all about my history with portable gaming. And so it goes back with, it actually starts with Mattel football handheld games, and it ends with this device that we're playing with tonight, the Retroid 3+. So it kind of runs through my history of portable games. But I did, one of my first, what I would call modern portable gaming system was a Game Boy Advance, the very first one. And the screen was terrible. Oh, hey, Adam. What's up, man? He says, "Oh, he was streaming a massive pickup. Awesome. I hope you got some cool stuff. What did you get?" It's been a long time, man, since I got a good pickup. I mean, I would say I had two really good pickups. One was a guy that ran a local Commodore user group back in the 80s and shut it down and had everything in his garage. And we went to go, the guy wanted $100 for it. And any one thing I got, like hardware wise, I could have sold for $100. I got, this is $100. I got probably 10 1541 disk drives. I got half a dozen Commodore 64s. I got some 128s. I got monitors. I went out there with a buddy that had a pickup truck. And the pickup truck, the bed was full 2 layers of stuff. It was an unbelievable thing. In fact, I archived all the diskettes from the user group, and I put them online. And there was some stuff that ended up going into Lemon 64, into CSDB that hadn't been out there before. Adam got a 128, a 1902 monitor, nice, a 1571. 2 Commodore 64s, 1541s. RU, man, that is a great find. I mean, if you were to sell all that stuff right now, I mean, that's probably $1,000 at least. I mean, that's a lot. That's a good run. We all have nostalgic connections to old hardware. At least I do. I think a lot of us do here. And when I'm using a Commodore 64, I think a 1541 looks better. But I got to tell you, the 1571s hold up so much better. They don't do the head banging to reset the track seek, so they don't go out of alignment as much. I've had so much better luck. When if I find like what we call like a barn find these days or something like that, and the 1541s is like a 50-50. Like it's, maybe it's going to work, maybe it won't or whatever. 1571s, man, are like tanks. And Adam says he's also collecting or cataloging his own old software. That's I feel like that's more than a hobby. Sometimes I feel like it's a responsibility. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's what we have to do as the keepers of this stuff, is we have to make sure this stuff is archived and preserved. So, well, that's a good find, man. I hope you sell what needs to be sold and keep what you want to keep, because that's good stuff. So anyway, the screen on this thing is great, which is unfortunate that it's turned off. It's disabled because it's going up into this. Now, normally I would be using my finger and swiping. I would be swiping this, and this thing would be scrolling around this and that. But with it hooked up to the HDMI out, going to the capture card, going to the computer, going to you, it does not. The touchscreen is disabled, but I can still navigate through the D-pad. And the analog sticks work too. A lot of this runs RetroArch, but it has a bunch of emulators that have also been added. So I'm not going to play like a zillion games tonight. I might play. We're going to dabble around, just kind of jump around and just kind of see how some different things look. Let's hop into, I guess these are just sorted alphabetically. So I will hop into Game Boy Advance. I'm really excited because this thing has more emulating power than you would think. So I'm excited I've put some things on here that I haven't tried yet, and we're going to try them tonight for the first time and see if they work. Let's see. This is Super Mario Brothers Advance. I know how to play that one. And then there's an option here where you could save the game before closing, or you could start it directly. And I think this is almost like a save state, right? Like, do you want to start it to jump in, or do you want to do like total reset it, like you've never played it before? That's something I tried before, and that obviously jumps right into whatever you were playing last time you had it on. So we will do start directly. I guess that's the option. Turn that down just a little bit. So you can see that the emulator itself has those little overlays, and there's a key combo that I forget that you can turn those off. And there's a thing on the screen where you can touch it, that little arrow right there, and it'd go away. But obviously I don't have access to the touch screen, so that won't help me here. But again, all the buttons, like if you normally had a Android tablet and you were trying to play and you had to touch all those things on the screen, I'm not doing that. I'm using, the D-pad or the analog sticks and, the shoulder buttons and all the buttons, just like you would a normal console. So this is Game Boy Advance. It looks like this is a Japanese version. This is not something that I think that this would have any trouble. I forgot this has that terrible version of Mario Brothers that scrolls the screen around that I'm terrible at. I'm really good at Mario Brothers, and I'm really bad at this one. Where the screen is constantly scrolling around. The start and select is the only awkwardly placed thing, and it is here. So when you're holding it, you have to kind of reach over to like this is start, which isn't bad. But I don't love it. Let's figure out which button goes to what. There we go. My jump button. So, due to our configuration, I'm playing directly through OBS tonight. So I would expect really bad performance, not on OBS, but for myself, because there's a slight delay because of the setup that I have going on here. So normally if I were going to play this, I'd have it plugged into a TV or something, I mean, if that's what I was trying to do, if I wanted to play, oh, Mamma Mia. Oh, yeah, just a slight delay, which is going to make playing things a little bit challenging. All right, let's see if I could kind of anticipate what's going to happen and try to play it that way. That's a little better. There we go. As long as you press the button half a second before what you think is going to happen, it works out pretty good. Again, I'm not a fan of this version where where the screen scrolls up and down and you can't see the entire screen. Boy, that delay does make it a little tough. Oh boy, to hit that. Oh no, Mamma Mia! But as you can see, obviously it's not going to have any problems emulating Game Boy Advance. I bought my Game Boy Advance, my actual Game Boy, the very first one. I bought it as a Christmas present for myself a couple of days before my son was born. And the reason I bought it was because I wanted, my wife was about to go into labor. And so, all right, we're going out of this. All right, so you press home twice and you go right back and you exit back out to this. So my wife was about to go into labor, and I was like, boy, am I going to be bored in a hospital with a wife and a newborn baby. So I bought myself, and her due date was like a week or so. No, the month, like 2 weeks before Christmas. And so she actually had to be induced. And so I was like, boy, newborns are going to be so boring. So I bought myself a Game Boy Advance as an early Christmas present and took it to the hospital. And turns out newborns keep you busy. Didn't have a lot of time for the old Game Boy Advance. But that's when I bought my first Game Boy Advance. And then I bought the GBA SP when my kids were like real little and they started doing stuff like one took gymnastics and one took swimming, and I would tell my wife, I'd be like, I'll take them. I'll take the kids. And then I would like sit out in the car and play Game Boy. I downloaded, isn't it amazing that there was a time, I remember when, this version of Tony Hawk is so wacky. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to play it, but, you remember? Like, I remember when I was calling BBSs, PC BBSs, and Super Nintendo games were being released, and you would go look for, hey, did somebody release a new ROM, or did somebody, is there a new version, or and there'd be a new ROM every couple of days. Somebody that would release a new game or whatever. And now you just go to, what I like to call my favorite weird site, Internet Archive, and you go, give me every Game Boy game, and it goes, okay. And you go make a sandwich, and you come back in, and it's all done. Boy, I can feel the delay on this even more so. Oh, Tony Hawk. So if you've never actually played this, I believe Aaron streamed this not too long ago. When he was doing Game Boy games. But if you've ever played Tony Hawk, you'll notice immediately that this is not what it looks like. Traditionally, it's not what it looks like. Get off that. Come on, Tony. But it is the first level. It's the same level. It's just not drawn the same way. See if we go over here. Oh, a little hard to get used to the. I got delay and I got a weird angle. Oh no, Tony! Tony, get up! Good Lord! Come on. There we go. Go over here. Where's the helicopter? There it is. It's weird seeing it from this angle, Oh, Tony. Oh boy. I'm trying to. There's a little 180 there. Oh, there's a wall there. Really bad rail slide. I haven't skated in a long time, and I feel like I could skate this well in real life. Woo! Oh, Tony. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. So yeah, this is a weird version of Tony Hawk. But for a Game Boy Advance, imagine that. Imagine me sitting there with my wife in labor and me going, oh, hold on. I'm in the half pipe, baby. Woo! Look at that. Shoo! Look at that. All right. So this is Game Boy Advance. It works. All right. Let's go over here. Okay. So now if I hit B, go back to this menu. Again, normally this would be touchscreen. Game Boy Color. And Game Boy Color, if I remember, is relatively awful. I mean, it's not awful, but it's awful by 720? All right, maybe we'll just play every skate game on all these systems. All right, and we got to remember, start directly. I don't think I've ever played this version of 720. Probably the Nintendo version is probably my least favorite. And my favorite version would be the real machine that I had for a long time. Left, right will rotate player left to right. Button B, direction will rotate. Oh, I guess I was making choices, but the choices have been made. Oh my. Oh, that's awful. Oh, and I chose the wrong one. Now, can I use the analog pad? I cannot. I'm using the D-pad, which means I am holding diagonal on this D-pad. Oh. It is kind of a facsimile of the music. Come on. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it. But this is a Game Boy Color on the thing. I'm just checking in on the Commodore chat. Steve Burt says he had quite a few 1541s that don't work due to read-write head failure. Yeah, they need 1541s need cleaning. They need alignment. They need help. You know, they just need. And you can bring them back to life. You can oil the rails, put some oil on the rails and clean out the heads a little bit and do all that kind of stuff and get them to work again. But all right, this is Game Boy Color. Obviously, we know that's going to work. We know Game Boy is going to work. Did I put any Nintendo 64 games on here? I'm thinking that I probably didn't. No, I don't have any Nintendo 64 games on here, but I do have some other stuff. Do I have Nintendo DS games on here? I do. So this is Nintendo DS. Now, let me tell you, on this device, again, I'm going to show you what the screen looks like. The screen is wide enough that it has some different tricks that it could do for Nintendo DS. And one it could do, I'll be interested to see if it's what it does here, is that it shows you both screens and then you could swap between which is the primary screen. Because if you remember, DS had two screens, one for usually playing the game and one for touch screen kind of stuff. So let's see what... let's try Ridge Racer. Oh, okay. Now I remember doing this before. So even though you pick the game, then it puts you into this emulator and it's like, what did you want to do? And you're like, I wanted to load this game. And then it goes, all right. Start game. Oh, sure wants me to do that update. So you can see how one screen is a large on the left and then there's a small one on the side. And all right, here we... Oh, thank you. Oh, look at this. A drink has arrived from heaven. Oh, it's not even spiked. So this is a Nintendo DS. I had Ridge Racer was. Remember when Ridge Racer came out on the original PlayStation, and it was such a banger. I loved it. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, all right. Seem to be loading a saved game. I want to do a quick race over there. There we go. So,
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, all right. Is there different views available? Oh no! Oh boy! Oh, I'm trying to change my view.
2 laps to go.
Oh, I paused it. Oh, there we go. That's what I want. Okay. Oh Lord. Wait, did the analog sticks work on this? Yeah, they do. Okay, much better. I mean, it's a relative term. Let me get back on track here. Bye. So, I don't have a lot of use in my life, to be honest with you, for a portable gaming system, which begs the question, why did I buy one? Oh my, I'm backwards. I'm forwards. I'm drifting. Daddy, I'm drifting. Why would I buy this? Well, one thing is, I talk a lot about van life, and I have all these plans, even though I don't know if any of this stuff's going to work out for me. Oh my. But, my thought was, anything you can throw in, if you're going in a car trip, a van, anything like that, that's battery powered, you're better off. You know what I mean? So this is a little portable thing that, that honestly, if I'm not lagged, I'm looking at a screen, I'm much better at playing.
Hurry, time's running out.
Well, I'm trying. Stop yelling at me, Ridge Racer. I do really good on the straightaways. Oh no.
Too bad. That race wasn't your best.
No, wasn't anybody's best. So that that was kind of one of the ideas was that I would be able to take it with me on road trips or when I'm traveling or anything like that. The other thing is I don't know. I just kind of thought like it plays everything that I ever want to play. So you know what I think is if somebody could say something in chat, I think maybe my chat window is locked up or something. I haven't seen chat updated in a long time, which is not normal. I'm going to close my chat window and rejoin the chat. And I'll try that. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. People are here. I'm just either locked up or I put everybody to sleep. Yeah, so that was kind of the idea, like road trips and stuff. But again, for emulation stuff, like people are like, well, it won't play, certain like newer systems. And I go, I don't play those systems. Like I have a certain level that I kind of go to on playing games. And this, man, I think this covers it. I think this covers just about everything I would ever want to play. So that is also, I do have another Game Boy Advanced SP, and I do have the Nintendo DS. So this would replace both of those. I don't need either of those anymore if this plays those games. I don't know that I would say that this 100% replaces a Nintendo DS because the two screens versus the one screen, but it's pretty close. This is obviously we know that this is going to play Nintendo games. I believe if I do this trigger, it jumps down. Yeah, there we go. So I could kind of jump down on the list. Oh, you know what? I would so love to play Bubble Bobble, but I can't do it. I can't do it on Amigo Aaron's birthday. It just wouldn't be right. I'm not going to do it. Is Conan the old? No, this can't be the same game that he played on the Apple II. There's Cool World. So again, I mean, this is a library that you guys are all Donkey Kong Junior Math, Donkey Kong. Let's see Donkey Kong Classic. Let's see how bad I could do with this slight bit of HDMI lag. Now, I will tell you that normally, a lot of times, I know when people used to talk about like lag on Bluetooth controllers and stuff like that, I couldn't tell what they were talking about. It didn't bother me, but there is just enough of a lag to be noticeable on this. All right, let's see what we could. No. Oh. About time to take a drink. All right, that's working. Hey, boy, that fireball was aggressive. Is it me or are these let's see. Nope, analog does not work on this. The girders are not very sloped on this. All right, well, good. Look how aggressive that dude is. That barrel. Is it me or maybe I did the harder version? I don't remember the in real life the fireball beating me to the second level every time. Oh, yeah, the lag's gonna make this tough. I did okay on the let's see if this yeah, I moved left and jumped and then the guy, and then after I died there was like another second of sound or whatever. Yeah, this is really weird. Like I said, we're not going for high scores tonight. We're more just playing around with this hardware platform. Oh, jump. Oh. I was trying to jump the second barrel. I jumped the first. Yeah, you know, the thing is, once you play so much arcade Donkey Kong, every other version stinks. Like, every other version has problems that just make it... okay. Boy, this lag is rough. Hey, Drezu, welcome to the party. I saw old Curtis Boyle. I did not give you a shout out earlier. And hi, guys. As you know, we are playing tonight on the portable handheld Retroid with an HDMI cable. And because of the way this is set up, I'm having to play with the video through OBS, which has just a slight bit of lag, which is making it kind of difficult to play competently. Let's see what we get. If this is any better over here. Where are we? I want... okay. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Okay. Oh, that's a bad start. All right. Also, the window is so much smaller than what I'm used to of playing, you know, normally. Okay. Oh, get over there. Nope. Boy, this is my capture device, this particular capture device, I do have a way to do pass-through, and normally that's what I do. However, because I had to use a different HDMI cable for the mini, because it says a mini HDMI, I just bypassed it, and I plugged it directly into the capture instead of going through my normal video loop, which I'm now seeing was probably a mistake. I told you there was lots of opportunities for mistakes, and that seems to be a relatively major snag in the system here. Now, I did read that Super Nintendo, someone said that the Super Nintendo emulator wasn't very good, and there's one game on here that I know by heart. I will know immediately if it's not perfect. Oh. Where's all these games that start with the word super? Oh, we're not there yet. On this episode, I'll be learning the alphabet and how it works. You can choose. Oh, well. Let's just do auto. Oh, maybe I haven't run this core yet. Okay, so that's what it does if you don't have the core yet. It just says, do you want to manually install the core, or do you want to automatically add it and install it, which is what I just said, make it work, and then it just did it. Steve Burns asks, would I buy the Retroid 3 Plus handheld again if he had to do it over? He just didn't think he would use it very much. Well, I don't use it at all, so that's not really. I wanted to have one handheld to rule them all. I was like, I just want to have one handheld. Now, do I play handhelds? No. It's a bad investment. But my old handheld that I had got outdated, and I will show that. Hey, Steel Rat, what's up, man? Okay, so let's. Oh. Oh. Okay, let's. Oh. It says press select, but I don't know that I have select mapped on this. Yeah, select doesn't seem to be mapped, and none of those buttons seem to work. So this may be a lost cause of this one. Let's go back. Super putty, super R type. Here we go. Start directly. Oh, Drezu says he has an experimental Pi that uses a Pi 4 for emulation. It's great, but it destroys the litho battery. Yeah, I don't honestly know what the battery life of this thing is. I guess at some point we'll have to take a look. I mean, we started like straight up at... well, we didn't start straight up. I didn't turn on for a while, so I don't really know. But we'll see. We'll see what it looks like here as it goes throughout the night. Of course, I can always plug it in and recharge. I will tell you that I put this in my car in the center dash for like, hey, if I'm out, I'll have this. Oh, okay. I'll have this thing sitting out there, and every time I go to play it, it's the battery's dead, and so it seems like the battery, like I have a lot of devices that when you turn them off, more modern devices, when you turn them off, they still seem to hold a charge for a long time, and I don't know that this one does. This one, the battery seems to wear out. Do I have any special weapons? I do not. Oh. Oh, I do have a special weapon. Oh, I got a special no armor. Again, on the overlay, if you can see on the bottom right-hand corner, there's that little down arrow. If the touchscreen were enabled and I weren't using HDMI out right now, you press that little down arrow and all the side overlay for the buttons and what it's doing would disappear. If that bothers you, I'm usually so focused on not dying that I don't even notice them. but it does make it look less like a console and more like an emulator, so I can definitely see turning those off. There's a argument for turning them off. Oh boy, hi. So I'm not, I'm not an expert on Super Nintendo, but if I were like, man, I'm looking for something to play Super Nintendo, I don't see a huge problem with it. But there, I don't buy it based on what I said. Like, you might be, you might be like, oh no, it's not doing this or not doing that. So, okay, let's try to get through this part here that I keep dying on. Oh boy. Oh, I guess the trick is not to just fly through there like I tried to do. Okay, you're dead, you're dead. Anybody else want a limp? You're dead. I just blew up Saturn. Listen, Saturn. Before I showed up, Pluto was a planet. Now look at it. Okay, I'd try hitting the other button to see if maybe it would help me. Game over. So there's I know for handhelds, I could be wrong. So somebody feel free to chime in. But there's three things. There's one is Linux, or not Linux, but Android powered handhelds, which is what this is. This is again. Of course, I'm showing it upside down. Normally it's like this, so it's upside down. But this is runs Linux. So more or less, this is a Linux tablet in the form of a handheld thing. I know there's the FPGA ones that are out there, but man, seems to be expensive. And so let's talk about why I refer to this as unobtainium. These were, I believe the MSRP on these is $150, which that was the other sale thing for me. I was like, $150 and it plays all this crazy stuff. I'm in. But then you can't find them. You can't find them for $150. So there are people that buy them up and then they sell them brand new on eBay. And I saw one listed for like $229 or best offer. And I was like, I'm not paying that much over MSRP. But I sent the guy a best offer, I think, of $179, or I think what I said was I'll pay $199 with shipping, and he said done. So I paid $199, which is more than I would have liked to pay. But yeah, it like I said, I feel like as long as weird updates don't happen or something better doesn't come along, which by the way, something better always comes along, then this one will last me for all the portable. Gaming. Yeah, the Pocket Analog, Drezu says. That's the FPGA one. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this. I did, when I went to order this, it said what color combo, and I picked Super Nintendo color combo because that's just my favorite color combo with the purple buttons, purple and gray and stuff. But there were I'm exaggerating here, but there were 500 color combos. They were like, you want Pokemon color, you want orange, you want see-through green, every color is see-through. You want transparent green, purple, blue, blah, 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 whatever. And you want, you want it to look like an NES, a Super Nintendo, you want the Famicom, you want whatever. Any color combo you want on this. So, again, I'm just kind of a fan of this color combo. Okay, this is something I have not tried before. This is Nintendo GameCube. And 10 minutes before we started, I copied over 2 ISOs By the way, just like every emulator, RetroArch, any of this stuff, you have to scrape your ROMs, and that stuff is all done down here. Again, if I had the touchscreen, you would just press this. There is the internal. It comes with internal 128 gigs of storage, and then there's a external slot, and I put a 1 terabyte SD card in. So when you do your ROMs, it says, is it in the normal path, and then it says is the path on the internal or the external or whatever, and then you just say scan or whatever. I don't need to do all that because I just scanned them, but yeah, that's how that works. So let's give this a shot. I have not tried this, don't even know if it'll run, but we'll find out. All of these emulators are super configurable. You could go in, you could turn on and off screen stuff. You could turn on and off. And there are tutorials on YouTube that go through and tell you every single thing. Like for best results, turn this on, this off, do this on, this off, that, blah, blah, blah. I see frames per second, 42, 71%. That's not great. No likey that. And I can't skip. Well, I'm not going to abort mission quite yet. Okay, this is running at 13%. Maybe when it gets past this, things will get better. Because they can't get worse. This is no bueno. I feel like even the worst X-Wing pilot could have blown up the trench if the Empire was moving this slow. Not good so far. Oh. Hey, look, it got better. Hey, look, it got worse. I'm trying to figure out is it the explosions that are dropping the frame rate? And again, this is completely what's the word I'm looking for? Not unmodified, but oh, this is terrible. This full motion video is just killing it. I want to go to the game and see if it's... It's so bad I can't even hit start on it. Yeah, that's a no-go. That one is a no-go. Let's see if 18-wheeler's any better here. Yeah, 18-wheeler. Not good. All right, that one wasn't. This one says 6 frames per second, 8 frames per second. Ugh, got bad. But I did see, like on YouTube, like you could go through and it says, hey, you can do this, that, and make it run faster. There are different settings. You could say turn down details on this and that, or turn down, whatever. So there are probably ways to streamline it and make it run a little bit better. Press the A button to create a new file, or B to cancel. Well, B does that. I've seen videos of, it's like I'm not in the emulator. And I'm wondering if I were in the touch screen, if I would be able to do a little bit better. This one looks like a no-go for now, at least with this this configuration. So we'll go out of that. Let's see, what else do we have here? 3DS. I don't think I put any 3DS games on here. I put a Wii game on here. Okay, now notice how the no Wii game shows up here. So what we got to do is go down here to ROMs, and set the game path. And there's no path here, so we've got to add a path. And it says the default internal, which is not where it's at, or the default SD card. And there is a set path, and as long as you put the stuff where it's supposed to go, it finds it. And it says doesn't like my ROM, so this is probably bad. And where am I at here? Again, this whole interface is designed for touchscreen. So by trying to do it with these controls is not really how it's designed to be used. I'm not expecting great things from... Whoa! I wasn't expecting it to even work. I press the button to jump through these hoops here. So this is Nintendo Wii. Now I would say games where you have to point and use the normal Wii controller. I don't think you have a chance. But for one where you use the controller, okay. Yeah, it's like a... Yeah, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unplug the video. I'm going to press it with my hand. Okay, I got past that. Now I'm going to plug the video back in. Okay. That wouldn't be an ideal situation. But I'm going to say this. For a stupid little handheld, $150 handheld, that's playing, is doing anything with a Wii game is pretty impressive. Oops, I gotta quit hitting that. Uh-oh. Come on, Mario. Yeah, like I said, with the HDMI unplugged and just playing it with the touchscreen stuff, it will work. With the D-pad or the analog stick. I will tell you one thing I don't like about the layout is the analog sticks are below the D-pad and the buttons, and I feel like they should be above, like where your thumbs rest, so my thumbs are kind of in a less comfortable position. Yeah, like I said, there's something about the controls. I may have to go through and actually set up the controls on these. But I'm impressed that it did anything at all. And the fact that you can see there it's running at 60 frames a second and 100% speed. That's pretty impressive. I would say it's not a constant 60 frames a second. You can see it dropping into the 30s. But it still says 100%. I think it's playable, you know? I wouldn't say it's perfect. It's making me get down, though. All right. Is that a success? I don't know. Middle success. Drezu, I don't know that I did get that message. I had a lot of email coming in over the past week for birthdays and anniversaries and all that kind of stuff, so I may have missed it. You might want to resend me that. This is a PC Engine. This is not a Battle Load Runner. What the hoo-hey-hey? Let's see. PC Engine's not my go-to system. I'm not, didn't have it, not that familiar with it, haven't played it, haven't explored it a lot. Blazing Lasers, I believe I had on Neo Geo. I think my Neo Geo cabinet had Blazing Lasers. Well, I didn't like that. All right, let's go back to... I'm wondering why there's so many duplicates on here, and it makes me wonder if maybe some of these are listed as working and some are not working. I don't really know. Now, I will tell you that I tried Afterburner earlier, and Afterburner did work, so I know that the emulator works. Oh, I want to start directly, of course. Oh, doing something here. Small demo of Bomberman. Well, I don't really want to demo something. I wanted to play something here. Okay, not that impressive. There's Bomberman's. Well, just isn't this a there we go. All right. Oh. There we go. Oh. Oh. I'm going to be dead before I start. Good grief. I will say, again, with the slight delay that a game where I have to dodge 400,000 bullets is probably not going to be the best showcase for this, but yeah. All right. Well, this may not have been the best game to show off, but it does seem to work. I assume. I would like to spend more time with the PC Engine and just like really dig in, like one of those systems where you just do a deep dive for a month and just try random games, try them over and over, you know, just go through there and find where the gems are and stuff. Because I just feel like I mean, it's a 16-bit kind of console. I know there's some good stuff in there, but I'm just not that familiar with it. Just, oh boy. Obviously, I'm not that good at this game either. I'm trying to try some of the other buttons. Those bullets are chasing me. Yeah, that's bad news for me. Ay, ay, ay. Is Splatterhouse on PC Engine? There's sidearms. I know that one. What does that say? Space Harrier. Splatterhouse. So we'll try the USA one first. There we go. Okay, so do I just have two buttons? I have jump and attack, is that right? Oh. Oh. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll have to get some practice in on some of these, and probably not on a handheld system. I may have to play an actual PC emulator that will show these in full screen and not slightly lagged in OBS. But I would like to go through and play them, and I've obviously heard of Splatterhouse. I know that my old buddy from the Digital Prestige, Dyer51, has a Splatterhouse tribute site that I believe is still up. Oh, what am I can't even tell. It's hard to tell what those are. Hey, thank you for the subscription, Borg. We play all kinds of retro stuff in this channel every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central. And what we're doing right now is we're trying out the Retroid 3+ portable gaming system. And just like I said, not doing any deep dives into any particular one system, but just kind of running it through its paces and seeing what it can do and what it can do. Now, this is an emulator that I did try earlier. I don't know why I keep picking these vertical shooters, because we all know I'm terrible at those games. Burning Fighter. I had a Neo Geo. I had two different Neo Geo arcade cabinets. I had a one slot. And if you're familiar with Neo Geo cabinets, there were 1, 2, 4, and 6 slot machines, and you could put cartridges inside them and switch between the cartridges. And so I had a 1 slot machine with a 25-inch monitor, and then I had a 4 slot machine with a smaller. A 17 or 19-inch monitor, whatever it was. And so I swapped them. So I put the good board in with the big monitor, and that's the one that I had for a long time. There's Karnov, there's Ghost Pilots, King of the Monsters. Drezu says he likes looking at all the scraped art on the retro collections. Boy, you know, it certainly reminds me of just like going to the store. Like when you were a kid, I would go to Toys R Us, and Toys R Us had computer boxes on display, and you could just go there and like flip through the covers and look at all of them and just dream of owning them all. And then I would go home and download all the ones that I wanted. It was just kind of like a virtual shopping cart, right? So, Borg, I hope you come in on Wednesdays. We do a lot of Commodore stuff. We do a lot of computer stuff. It's all retro fun gaming. We just hang out for a couple hours every Wednesday night. All right, let's try this Neo Geo here. Of course, if you're the Borg, you already know all that. Borg knows everything, right? Okay, I'm trying to get this to insert coin, but again, I think what I got to go do is I got to go map the select button, which is not mapped by default on all these. Normally, it's a touchscreen button that you can do, you know. Texas Foosballer in the house. You know, we've got enough people. Oh, you know what? I'm sure there is Metal Slug. Let's take a look and see if Metal Slug's in here. I mean, it has to be. Yeah, there's all Metal Slugs 3 is a good one. Metal Slug, I had Metal Slug X, the cartridge. I was buying Neo Geo cartridges and paying $50, $60, $70 per cartridge. And then one day on eBay, someone offered one of those, I don't remember what it was. It's like 168 Neo Geo, but it was every Neo Geo game all in one cartridge, you know? Yeah, see, these keep saying insert coin, and I can't seem to do it with this controller. But you can see these run at 100%. And now we got enough people here. I hope Amigo Aaron is still here, because I don't know if you guys, for those of you that got here to the party late, we let me run this. We have a birthday boy in the house. And let's go over here. We'll have to kill this for just a second because, hey, Mac Apple, you're just in time. Today is Amigo Aaron's birthday, and he does not like having his birthday pointed out. So I did not point out the birthday, but sometimes the old Commodore 64 has a mind of its own. Oh my goodness. Amigo Aaron, we all pitched in together for your birthday and got you this precious JPEG of a computer system. What can you do? If there are any bits cheered for Amigo Aaron's birthday, I will pass them on to Amigo Aaron because, frankly, because he's so old, he's going to need money for back pills and and old man stuff that old men need. And he's one of the few people I get to say that's older than me. Oh my gosh. He's trying to play it over and over. Thinks it's his birthday every day. Come on. Holy camole. Okay, so what are we doing over here? Let's see. So yeah, Neo Geo, that worked. Let's see if we got any other surprises. Things to test here. Again, when you turn this on, you go, do you want to, yeah, it is. It's like an NFT that I stole and then gave him a free copy of as well. So, that's, generous, I think, on my part. Neo Geo Pocket, Neo Geo Color. Now here's a little surprise. MAME. I can't remember if I put anything. I can't remember if I set this up or not. I have not set up MAME. So, but I mean, just a little thing that plays MAME. I mean, plays MAME games. How cool is that? Okay, now this I have not tried. This is going to be a first. Let's go scrape the ROMs. I don't know if this will work or not. Don't get your hopes up, but we're going to find out. Oh, can't scan. You're going to add a destination. Give me the default SD card and scan. Cross your fingers. And by the way, if you got children in the room, this might be a good time to teach them how to plug their ears because I don't remember how bad this is. Oh, okay. We're all right. It didn't run. You can save the game before closing. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wait a minute now. Start directly. No, it's a requested file name. Maybe it's a corrupt. downloaded a corrupt version or something. So, but I have watched videos. It does play PS2 games. Oh, and there's the battery life in the top upper right. So we've been playing on this for an hour, and it's down about 10%. But it hasn't. We haven't been playing it the whole time, you know. So, let's see. Well, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. Yuck. I only like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's what's on there. Well, that's disappointing. Here we got Sega CD. Now, here we go. Sega Saturn. I put one game on here. Have not tried this, but let's take a look and see how it goes with Sega Saturn. Just in time for Halloween. Yeah, just being able to put PS2 games on here and play those, that's the PS2 library you can play forever, I think. Ooh. Not bad. Sega Saturn. Let's take a look here and see what we get. I needed to play some music because all I got is that stupid happy birthday song in my head. Yeah, it's especially handling this full motion video. Boy, it sure didn't like the full motion video on that GameCube game. Alright, let's go. I got Saturn butt to kick. Come on, Mr. Bones. McRib. McRib's still hanging out back there. Oh, I was playing. What was it? I thought it was more demo. And I played a terrible guitar chord. Is that the whole game? What the heck? Alright, skip. Grave escape. Okay, that's me. Press start. Go. Okay. Am I jumping? Okay, I'm jumping. Jump. What happened? Alright. Well, it may be a pass, Mr. Bones, but it's playing stuff, so I may have to dive into that. Of course, Sega Genesis, we know. Sega Master System, we know this kind of stuff. It's going to play, anything. If it can't play 8-bit and 16-bit games, then what are we doing, right? Whoa. Oops, wrong button. That's my bad. Did I say Aladdin 2? Oh, that's, you know what? Why are we going further when we got it right there in front of our faces? Android, nope, automatically. Download anything you want to download. Thanks. Psygnosis. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this worth $150? I feel like. I mean, it's literally. I mean, it's kind of an all-in-one little thing, right? Oh no, where's Tum Tum? Gotta be Tum Tum. I could have pressed the button a long time ago. There's Egg Shin. We'll drive through the Chinatown on this fine day. This town that you see right here. Oh, you do not. You leave Jack Burton alone. Oh, this is the wrong movie. What's going on? All right, what do we got here? Oh, wrong button. Trying to figure out the buttons on some of these. Oh. Yeah, no. Yeah. Boy, but with the delay. Oh, I should have jumped on that vine there. All right, well, you are a terrible ninja, you dumb kid. Tum Tum, you're a dumb. All right, that went great. There's a lot of Sega Genesis games I really like. I was late to the Sega Genesis party, and the thing about Sega Genesis was I always thought Sega Genesis was comparable to Super Nintendo, and I guess in a way it is, you know. And then I read a thing one time. It was like an online article, and it blew my mind. And it said, it was like a comparison, and it was like, which is better, Sega Genesis or the Amiga? And in my head, the Amiga was the greatest computer of all time, and no console until you got to like PS2 or something, maybe PS1, surpassed what the Amiga had done. And I was like, not the stupid Sega Genesis. What are you talking about? And it went through and it was like, you know, 4,096 colors, 4,096 colors, this resolution, this sound, this. And it was like back and forth. And I was like, I couldn't believe that they were comparing them. You know what I mean? Like in my head, they were leagues different. So I was really shocked that they were being compared. I just really couldn't believe it. I copied over, and this is maybe one of our last tests here. I copied over a Dreamcast game. I have not tried it, obviously. I haven't scanned this folder yet. There we go. We've scanned it. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it does with Dreamcast, if it can handle this. Dredsu wants to know if there were any Princess Bride games. I don't think so. I don't remember. All right, well, let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we got.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
I got a feeling I'm going to be a member of history here very shortly.
Battle 1, fight!
Oh, okay, we're in analog. Oh, but the buttons aren't mapped to anything. I can jump and run around. I can't even run around now. Oh boy. I challenge you to a jumping contest. Oh, well, I may have to go in and map buttons and figure this out, but it's playing amazingly well.
Time's up.
I'm impressed with the Dreamcast. I'm not impressed with my controls of the Dreamcast. Like I said, yeah, Soul Calibur, and it was so amazing to have these on a home system. You know what I mean? When the Dreamcast was like, you were like you could play this at home. It was amazing. It is a surprisingly even fight for the fact that I can't move. I would play this.
9, 8.
I mean, not if I can't move, but is that let's see. I don't know Wonder Swan. I don't know if I put any Lynx games on here. Yeah, I wouldn't assume that I did. I think if I would have, they're on the internal. Yeah, there's nothing there. Oh, now wait a minute. Well, I did a bad job of preparing this, because I could play some Atari 2600. You know, I had an interesting thing happen on the on my last stream. If you remember, we played the Atari 2600. We played some Atari 2600 games in preparation for the 2600 Plus. And one I played was Yar's Revenge. And I was watching it on, you were talking about pass-through. I was watching it on the actual monitor playing Yar's Revenge. But what I didn't notice until I uploaded the video later is I believe the pass-through is 60 frames a second. But the Mister was 60 frames a second. Does that sound right? But my OBS was set to 30 frames a second. And so the shield and some parts of Yar's Revenge completely disappeared. So like the static part and other parts of the screen weren't on my stream. They were on the screen that I was looking at in real time, but they didn't show up in OBS. I guess there was a mismatch of frame rates. So you can see we got MSX, we got Virtual Boy, we got I saw 3DO. We got so this does a lot of stuff. And there are other emulators that you can add to this. Obviously, I need to add, now that I've got this terabyte card, I can add some more stuff to it. I will show you real quick. I'm going to unhook the HDMI here. This is, what it looks like. This is about the size. It's a little smaller than a Switch. Not much, but a little bit. Where's my JXD? Okay, so this is the old one that I bought several years ago. It was this Mamma Jamma. So I'm going to put them right on top of one another so you can see the size difference. I mean, it is big. You see that thing? But you got to go through and you got to configure all the emulators manually. Like, it doesn't have the front end that the Retroid does and stuff. And one thing that I don't like about this is a minor nitpick, but you won't be able to tell this, but there's two small circles here. That one is the headphone jack. That is the power supply. It has this really tiny little barrel thing for the power supply. And it just doesn't. First of all, it's proprietary. So if you lose that thing, you could probably order one online. But nothing else I ever saw uses that. Of course, on the back, you got the little droid dude. So these were. This was like the first time that I saw physical controls on an Android. Essentially an Android tablet. And this has a big old mamma jamma screen. I mean, this was really good, but. It's much heavier than the Retroid, but all the mapping and all that stuff that is automatically on the Retroid and setting up the emulators and stuff, it's all manual on this thing. So, and it's much less powerful. It's not going to do any of the. I don't think it does any of the CD based type systems. So. Drazu says he remembers when they had the Sonic demos on the Dreamcast at Best Buy before release. Yeah. Seeing, of course, Sonic was groundbreaking anyway on the Genesis. It was like so fast. And then seeing it on the Dreamcast into the next generation, that was pretty crazy. Steve Bird says, that this is the era where the home console hurt the arcade business. Well, I'm thinking about this logically. In the early days, I would say, home video game consoles and computers went head to head with arcade games, and it was dumb. Because arcade machines had so much more processing power. And by the way, I'm doing this off the top of my head, so I'm just going to feel free to call me out. But if you took something like Pac-Man in the arcade, and everybody knew what Pac-Man looked like, and then you got Pac-Man on the Atari 2600, and you go, well, it doesn't look as good. Well, yeah, because the Atari 2600 has 128 bytes of RAM, so it ain't going to look as good, So when you put them head to head, the console versions would lose. Now, that doesn't mean that they weren't fun and they weren't worth playing, and there were some were better than others. Pong at home was pretty good. Space Invaders and Asteroids were pretty good. They weren't the same as the arcade, but they were fun, right? But even on computers, like you go, okay, well, you had Pac-Man on, let's say the Commodore 64, let's say the Apple II or something, where you go, this is not as good as the arcade, right? But then all of a sudden we got Ultima. We got Bard's Tale. We got role-playing games. We got adventures. We got text adventures. We started to get things that arcade machines couldn't do. So we weren't going head-to-head. We were doing one thing and they were doing another thing. So when you went head-to-head, arcade games always won, right? I mean, the only reason you ever played Pac-Man at home was because your mom wouldn't give you a ride to the arcade. If you could get a ride to the arcade, obviously that's the version you play, right? So consoles just, by their design, they just weren't as powerful as arcade machines. And when they got more powerful, arcade machines got better. When I saw Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and saw Mortal Kombat, I was like, this is incredible. But it wasn't as good as the arcade. It was good, but it wasn't as good because the arcade machines got better, right? But yeah, you're not lying. When they got to Dreamcast, starting with Dreamcast, and moving into stuff, GameCube, well, not GameCube, but from Dreamcast, PS2, Xbox, that kind of stuff. I'm sure that there's a difference between Soul Calibur at the arcade or Tekken and versus the home versions and stuff, but it's so slight. The Crazy Taxi, remember Crazy Taxi? When that came out on Dreamcast, I was like, I can't believe I'm playing this in my house. It's just as good, It is just as good. Now, it didn't have a steering wheel like you had at the arcade, but, so I don't know. But yeah, Dreamcast era, by the time you hit that, it was... I feel like it was game over, Amigo Aaron says the first one was a game park GP32. Yeah, he had the 32X. I had or 2X. I had the first one, the GP32. And it was, yeah, it was. That was the first one where, like, this, by the time I didn't buy a Dreamcast on launch date, right? So when I bought a Dreamcast, it was like they're like, hey, by the way, here's this console, and by the way, you can pirate everything for it. You don't need a mod chip or anything. Just download all the games and burn them, and they'll work. And I go, okay. So that's when I joined the Dreamcast, right? So when I got a GP32, the Game Park GP32, they were like, yeah, they sell games for it. They're in Korean, and there's 11 games. Or you can just put emulators on it and play all the stuff. And I go, well, that's all I want to do. So I never bought a single game for the Game Park. All I did was play emulated games. So, yeah, you know what? One thing I didn't see is I didn't notice on here, and I'll have to double check, but I didn't see Scum VM, which would be nice to have on this handheld, or maybe a DOS emulator. I don't know if those are out there, but again, there's always that threshold when you're trying to do computer games on a handheld, and then you go, how do I get to the keyboard? How do I do that? But when you have a touch screen and you could just pop up a virtual keyboard and touch things on that, it would be super nice, I had Dance Dance Revolution. Steve Burt says he mentioned Dance Dance Revolution. I had that on my last portable device, and I stomped on it. No, I didn't really do that. That'd be funny. We just lay this on the ground, and you're like, go. And then you're just like, psh, 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 just stomp on it. So anyway, that is, this worked. I would say it wasn't a complete failure. Some stuff worked, some stuff didn't work. Obviously, with some emulator configuration, we could get more things to work. And some things seem to be not working just because the HDMI out disables the touch screen. I do want to turn this back on for just a second and just show you that normally with the screen like this, you just slide through here and do this. And then when you pick an emulator and go and touch things or whatever. So it's all normally touchscreen, right? So the way that I was trying to do it with the D-pad and stuff is a little bit unintuitive, but it does work. But I would think 90% of the people that would or more that would be buying this would not be using it with a HDMI cable. It does have since technically it is an Android tablet, it has all the Android stuff, and it has all the functions of Android, which means it supports Bluetooth controllers. If you want to use a Bluetooth controller, it supports Wi-Fi. I've been copying things over using the USB-C connection, but you can pop out the SD card if you want to do things. I was looking for one other thing is this is the case that it came with. It's not memorable in any way. There is a little flap here which covers the screen, so you put this in there, and then this kind of covers the screen, and you can put your charging cables and my little HDMI cable in there and zip this up. So if you see my car, don't break into my car, because sometimes this is in the center console. Now I got to find a new spot because I just told everybody. So anyway, I will say if you didn't follow Retroid, the one thing I will say is that there was a big controversy last year because they released the Retroid, what they called their 2. And then it was like they said every year or whatever, every so often they're going to do an upgrade. And they released the 2 Plus, like let's say a year later. And a lot of people bought the Retroid 2 Plus. And then I'm kind of making up time frames or whatever. But like within a couple of months, they released the 3 and the 3 Plus. So what happened was a lot of people bought the 3 expecting it to be the top of the pile for a year before a new one came out. And then they basically just undercut themselves and were like, nope, here's a 3+, and they released this, and it has a faster processor, and I don't know if it has a better screen or not, but the faster processor makes it, helps with some of the other emulators. So a lot of people who bought the 3 were not happy, and so when I bought this one, if you've been in this game, and by the game I just mean the computer game, you know that whatever you buy, if you buy whatever's new, you're going to pay too much, and it's not going to be new next year. It'll be old news. So, like I said, I went ahead and bought it. I figured it will meet my portable gaming needs for everything that I want to do. And Drazu says it'll get a lot of use when I am stealth van camping. Absolutely, that was the whole idea behind it, was you could charge it and have it in there, so that way you're not drawing battery from the car or anything like that, and just have it on there. Now, Drazu says it's a good buy and it's cheaper than a Steam Deck, and it plays all the retro goodies. Now, I considered buying a Steam Deck, and I don't know how much they're going for these days. I know that they play all the emulated stuff. I think the big difference is, I believe a Steam Deck will play Nintendo Switch games, and I don't think this will play Nintendo Switch stuff. So if that's your bag, then Steam Deck is probably. Plus, you can play all your Steam games, right? So that would be the deciding factor for you. But honestly, for me, like when I think of retro gaming. Or not retro gaming, but portable gaming like this, I'm not looking for something that I can play for hours and hours and hours. We don't have public transportation here in Oklahoma. There's no bus for me to ride. There's no train for me to ride. If I'm in a car, I'm probably driving it, or possibly in a passenger seat, but it's not going to be long-term gaming. It's going to be short-term gaming. It's going to be, I'm somewhere and I'm waiting for my wife to come pick me up. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm doing whatever, and so, hey, I could take the Heartland Flyer and take it south. My dad did that. My dad and my son took a train to Chicago, and the first thing you do is get on the Heartland Flyer and go down to, I think, San Antonio. You go like 8 hours in the other direction and then switch trains. I can't remember how long it took them to get to Chicago. Chicago's a 12-hour drive, and I think it took them like 20-something hours to get there by train. So it wasn't not the most direct thing. But I've talked about my trip before, taking a train. I took a train from Chicago to New York City. It was one of the most relaxing and comfortable and fun trips that I've ever taken. So I would like to do a train ride like that again. So anyway, that is the Retroid 3+. I won't be playing it a lot. I probably won't be playing it on the stream again. But it was a good experiment. I wanted to see how that HDMI out worked, and I wanted to see how the battery held up. So we played it for a solid hour and a half, and it went down about 12%. So I think you get a pretty good runtime out of that battery. So that's not bad. So thanks everybody for jumping in. I saw Tintin come in. I know there was a few other people that hopped in. I think I said greeted everybody. I saw Buck Owens. We had our new friend Borg hop in. Borg 1066. Why do I know the year 1066? Is that I think that's a year we had to learn in history class. Does that have something to do with the Saxons? I don't know. All I know is that I'm sexing this place up with my Headbangers Ball shirt. This is today, by the way, is the 30th anniversary of the release of Stormtroopers of Death, Speak English or Die, which is a metal album that probably not very many people may not know by the name, but that is where all the songs for Headbangers Ball came from, if you were a guy from the 80s. Drazu was in the house. We had Drone Doctor, of course, who's, I think, another Texan who is suffering down here in the southern heat with the rest of us. We got Joseph Macapple. I said Nun 45 we saw. Robot Doctor 82. I think a Robot Doctor and Drone Doctor. I mean, that's 2 dudes. If you need stuff repaired, you got a broken drone or a broken robot. These are like, I should just, this is my new plan is just to become friends with people that could fix things. And then I'll just get all my broken stuff together. But I need a robot. You know what? When I started working from home, I was like, it's so quiet and so lonely. And so I ordered this robot dog, and it's really small. It's not like a big thing. It's like this little small robot dog. It's almost like a Roomba. Like it goes to its charging thing and it walks around, and it was very high tech. It had a camera, and it says you can put it on a table. It has sensors. It won't step off a table, and it barks, and you pet it, and its eyes go doo, 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 like that, you know. And it's really cute. And then I read all this stuff, and it was like, by the way, one thing it does is it maps your house, and it talks to servers in China. And I was like, what? I don't need the people in China knowing where my bathroom is. Like, what's going on here? This dog's a spy. I've been infiltrated by a Chinese spy dog. So I let the battery drain. Should I be afraid of a Chinese spy dog? I don't know. Salted water in the house. Of course, Steel Rat, Steve Burtz. 1010, Texas Foosballer, all our other friends. Thank you guys for coming in and joining on a hot but not sweltering hot Friday night. And it will be hot again next week. Yeah, William the Conqueror. That's it. 1066. It was the year that William the Conqueror fought the Borg. And obviously, if you watch Star Trek, the Borg won. So yeah, tonight, late tonight, maybe early tomorrow morning, but probably late tonight, we'll see the next You Don't Know Flack. So check your podcatchers. I've got all the podcasts are, you know where to see everything on podcast.robohara.com or Apple iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, except for Stitcher, who sent me an email that said, by the way, Stitcher's closed. It's been real. It says, be sure to go check out other places to get podcasts, but not from us. Stitcher's gone. And I when I first started doing podcasts, I had people that were like, Stitcher's the only thing I get on my car. You got to get your podcast on Stitcher. And so I like specifically went out and got the podcasts on Stitcher. And Stitcher just said, they said, see ya later. That's stupid. I don't know what's going on here. Hey, Adam, thanks for coming over. Congratulations on your haul. Again, happy birthday to Amigo Aaron. And you guys, if you refresh your podcatcher, you'll be hearing from me shortly. Take care, everybody.